Well, it's nice to see the sun out today. I think it's been 3 weeks since the sun has come out. That may be the best part going right now is we actually got a little sun outside. We're outside the monsoon season, I guess. But we're excited about the opportunity. Obviously, last Saturday didn't go like we wanted to. Proud of the way our kids are playing. They're playing extremely hard. We don't always play the best, but we do play hard. And I think foundationally that's a big deal. Obviously, we got an unbelievable opportunity, challenge, and then some. Number 4 ranked team in the country. Been a part of probably 10 or 11 of the past conference championships. And been in the playoffs and been ranked in the top 10 probably for the last 2 years. Been ranked the top 10 every week for the last 2 years. And so they're a very good football team. They're probably the fastest football team we've played all year from team speed. You go watch them on special teams. Usually that's an indication of what kind of team speed they have, and they're fast. They can run. They're a good football team. It's going to be a great challenge. But I know our guys are excited about it. This is one of those games that, when we got in the league and recruited, these guys to come in here that I know they looked at because Coastal's kind of been the team. And so I know they're excited about the opportunity. We're excited about the opportunity. We're going to have to go play our best football game of the year. There's no question about it. Offense, defense, special teams, we're going to go play the best game. That's what we've talked about. And we've talked about, coming off after a loss, how do we respond? And that's what we've talked about all year. And we're looking forward to the opportunity. It's interesting. I was looking today. We're winding down. We're a little beat up, banged up. Didn't have a lot of depth to begin with. And we'll travel about 66 guys Saturday. Roughly 66, depending on how the next day or two shakes loose. Could be a little bit less, probably won't be any more. And on that 66-man roster, there's 31 guys that are on scholarship of a possible 85. Most teams are playing with 70 to 75. And we'll have 31, and probably 5 or 6 of those guys will not even play a snap Saturday. So it's, this is where we are in the process. And again, we're excited about the opportunity. But it was just kind of interesting for me as I was looking at it today, just kind of seeing where we were. And I think it's seeing where we are, but in a way for me, I'm seeing where we can go and what we can do if we continue doing the things we're doing here. We continue to build. We continue to add depth. We continue to play the way we've been able to play as far as an effort standpoint and continue to build on that. There's a lot of positive things so far. And we really want to finish strong. And I think that's important for these last 2 games to finish strong. So I'll open it up for questions.
What's White's status?
He's out.
For the game or for the season?
For the game. Yeah, for the game.
So
Jake will be the starter. Chandler Burks will be the backup.
And who's going to back up and be back then?
Well, Trey Shivers will start, and then Jonah Huff will be the backup at B-back, at 2-back. Well, there's never an ideal time to lose your starting quarterback. He's a starter for a reason. But this is part of the process. And, Jake's got an opportunity. Jake's a good player. Jake's young, and he's been able to play a good bit this year. And not only at quarterback, but being able to put him at running back is obviously going to help him Saturday just because he's been in the games. He's played. And Jake's well-respected on the football team, I can tell you that. He's earned everybody's respect by the way he works. His hard work, and he's a good football player. And we don't expect to. We expect to continue to do what we do. We don't expect it any different. Jake's young and hasn't been in this role as much, so there might be some things that go along the way with that. But I think Jake's gonna make some plays and make some things happen, just like he did at the end of the game when he came in Saturday. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't how he drew it up, but he found a way to make some plays. And so we have the utmost confidence in Jake, and I know the football team does as well. So we'll put him in and we'll go.
What about the other guys, Justin, Darnell?
Justin should be good to go. Darnell should be good to go. They're both banged up, John, but they're able to at least go out and practice. But they're both banged up along with a lot of guys. But right now we think they'll be able to play.
Who are we getting back?
We should get Malik back. He should be able to go. He's practiced. We hope to get Big Z back. He's back healthy, but he got sick and hasn't been able to practice. So I hope he'll be able to practice today to get him back. We're still hopeful that maybe Brett Gillespie might be back. He's making some positive improvement. So we'll hope he'll be back. do not think Jay Bowen will not be able to play. A.J. Burt will not be able to play. Right off the top of my head, that's the guys. The list is ever changing daily right now, one way or the other.
With Jake starting, you said last week he's a better thrower. Do you expect or feel more inclined to throw the ball more?
No, he's got a stronger arm. But we're going to do, just like we talked about, Chris, each week, we're going to do what gives our kids the best chance to be successful. And a lot of times offensively, that's based on what the defense is doing. And we'll kind of work off of that, what we think will give us a chance to be successful. So we'll just kind of do what we do and let it go from there. Whatever they're doing, we'll work off of that. I've been proud of the way we've been able to throw the football this year. I mean, I thought we've made some strides. I think we continue to get better, but we've been able to throw the ball around and do some good things in the pass game. It's something we really wanted to do coming into this whole deal. Something we want to do, and I think we could continue to build on it, even be more efficient and effective at what we do. But so far, we've been fairly decent at that.
And with all the injuries and everything, you've had to put a lot of guys in. I know it's a next man up mentality, but how do you feel the guys have done in building what will become depth next year because of the experience that they've gotten this year?
Well, I don't think you put a price tag on the experience and getting to play. I mean, you can practice all you want, but you can't simulate a game. You look at the quarterback. He went in for the last drive at Liberty. You can't put a price tag on that experience in front of 23,000 people. He went in and played. Now it's different being the backup than it is being a starter. There's no two ways about it. But to go play and all these guys that are getting experience, that's the one thing you just can't do anything about when you're a new program. The only way you get experience is go play. You can't watch other guys do it. You just got to go. And so I think it's helped everybody. And I would imagine these guys will tell you week to week just the fact as much. And both these guys have played about, unless they were tired or hurt, have played about every snap this year they could. And they'll tell you week to week they've had to grow and have learned a lot from the experiences of being in a ball game versus playing against ourselves all the time. And what it's done over the course of years made them better football players. And I think over the course of time it'll make them all a ton better. And I think they could tell you they've learned a lot from each and every game.
What did y'all learn last week playing Charleston Southern that you can apply to Coastal Carolina? Both really good teams and execute really well.
I feel like one thing we learned is mistakes can kill you. So especially playing teams of that caliber, that's a top-ranked team, team that plays pretty good, and it's the best team in our league right now. So that's one thing we learned was just you got to cut down on the small mistakes, like the small things turn into bigger things in games like that, because those teams are able to they are able to take advantage of the mistakes that you make.
One thing I think we learned was just how hard you're going to really have to play to be atop this conference. Every game and every team demands your best effort and going as fast as you possibly can. And like Des said, not making the small mistakes, doing as right as you can do. But I think mostly it's just effort and getting after it is a big thing.
Just think of one small mistake that you made on Saturday that turned into something that you didn't expect.
Missed tackles for defense. That's one thing that really kind of hurt us throughout the game. We missed a lot of tackles, and they were able to gain better field position and get a couple of explosive plays here and there.
Offensively, it's penalties. Getting behind the chains, it doesn't help you. You get out of the rhythm you want to be in. For me personally, maybe it's just I take a wrong step and I miss my guy. He flies by and makes a tackle in the backfield. It's just small things like that.
Coach, a little bit more about the individuals that are sitting up there with you.
Well, both these guys, I mean, and CJ talks about playing hard. The reason CJ's playing as much as he is because one thing he does do is he plays hard, and he plays with a lot of effort, and he has a great attention to what he's doing, and it's important to CJ. And I think that's what's given CJ a chance to play here. I'll be honest with you. He may not be, as big or as tall or maybe as talented as some of the guys, but at the end of the day, CJ's going to play harder, know where to go, and play better than those guys. And that's why he's starting. And that's why he's played about every snap, for our offense this year. I don't know how many snaps you've missed. It hasn't been many. But he's played a ton. He's probably played as much as anybody on our football team as far as snaps. And you look at Dez, Dez probably played one of his better games on Saturday. It was probably one of his better football games. And I think Dez has got all the ability in the world, and he probably runs as good and flies to the ball. And what I think Dez has learned to do over the course of a year is, each game he's built on playing that championship effort, snap in, snap out. And when he does that, he makes a ton of plays. He runs people down. He's all over the field. And he can run and make plays. And both these guys, when they're on, they play with great effort. And I'll be honest with you, that's kind of become our football team, and that's kind of something we've prided ourselves on. I go back to the effort, attitude, and toughness, and I think our guys have bought into that. If we can continue that, we're going to be fine here, because that's a big lick now, just playing with great effort. Both these guys do a great job of that, and I think both these guys got a great future ahead of them.
How many guys that started that very first game are still in the lineup who haven't been hurt by injuries now? Any idea?
Okay, offensively, obviously the back's out and the quarterback's out. Our starting guard is not the starting guard anymore. The tackles are the same. The center's the same because he's back. So really, you look at I would say 3 spots right now that weren't the starters to begin with, and a slot. So that's 4. Defensively, that aren't the starters. The safeties have changed since the first game, because actually Derek Farrell wouldn't start. It was Taylor and Sean Reynolds that started the first game. Dez was starting there. The corners are the same, I believe, aren't they, Dez?
Keon got hurt.
That's right. Keon got hurt, so that's another one that's out. Linebackers, I think that the linebackers are the same. Up front, it's changed inside. The inside guys have changed.
The 2 tackles?
Yeah. Now, it's kind of been there's like 4 guys for the most part that have been playing, and that's kind of gone back and forth a little bit. Obviously, Luther was a starter. He's out. And then the ends have pretty much, Mason started every game. And then the rush position has changed. Dustin Moore started. He got hurt. Chaz was playing a little bit. Then Kyron Minner moved to that position. So that one's changed a little bit, but Dustin should be back.
6 on defense? Is that
That sounds right.
safeties, quarterback, 2 defensive?
Yeah, just one safety. Just one safety. Yeah, just one safety. Yeah.
So 5.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is that normal? Do you consider that normal?
You would hope you don't lose. You don't lose what, 8 starters in the course of a year. Most teams, you lose 8 starters, man. You're done. You're gonna always lose some. You're gonna get some kids hurt, but I don't think it's no. I wouldn't say losing 8's normal. And we didn't lose 8, because the question was who wasn't starting at the beginning of the year. Doesn't mean we lost them, but it changed. And some of that's just getting in play, and some guys are better than you thought when you got out there. You know what I mean? That's just part of the game. So it was so new for us, Doug. It was hard to say, but we have lost some guys. I'll be honest with you. It's in some positions I was surprised we've made it as long as we have. I knew this was coming, but we're thin right now. We're thin right now. We've been traveling 68 or 70, but we're maxed out at 66. It just is what it is right now.
What positions were you surprised that have lasted?
I was surprised we made it as long as we did at our slot position. We were playing 3 guys, and they made it up until last week. Those 3 guys were playing, and I was surprised we made that long, because that's a pretty physical position in our offense. So I was surprised we made it that long there. Some of the other spots have just kind of happened, and it's just part of it. But that one, we were thin going in. I knew we were thin, and I just didn't know if we'd make it. But we actually made it longer than I thought.
Coach, isn't that a testament, obviously, to your staff and the players on the team, just their preparation to stay competitive that long with all the injuries and all the adversity that you guys have gone through this far?
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Carizzi and our strength and conditioning staff and the plan we put in place for the off season. As these guys will tell you, it's awfully challenging and difficult. But I think they'll also tell you now, looking back on a lot of the things that they've done, and Coach Carizzi and that staff, and the things we've done for a year. I think at the time they looked at us like we were crazy. I mean, bona fide crazy. But I think now they'll tell you they look back on it and they're glad they did what they did because it's given them a chance to compete. Maybe longer than maybe some you know what I mean, as far as that goes. But that's how we're going to train here. And I think as these guys grow and get bigger and stronger, more mature, it's going to give them the ability to withstand a season. And not only a season, but think about it now. Where we're trying to go here is not Thanksgiving. So we're building this thing up to where you're hopefully playing 3 and 4 and 5 games after that. That's a long season now. I know how these guys feel right now. I know how I feel right now. But I'm sitting here looking at, for the long haul, the big picture of where we want to go as a program. We got to continue to prepare ourselves for the long haul. And a lot of that goes into your off-season preparation and getting your body and your mind physically ready to go through a college football season. And you couldn't tell any of them that because they've never done it. All they were doing is going off what the stuff we're telling them, and I give them a lot of credit. They did it, even though I know they're sitting there every day, and they'll tell you this. Man, these guys are crazy. But there's a reason for everything we've done. I've told them that. There's a reason for everything we've done, and I think they understand it a lot more now than they did then. And as we continue to build and do the things we do, and there's a way you have to manage all this stuff too. The way we practice, the way we do. I mean, and I'm learning too. You know, I'm sitting here. We're in week 10, and I'm going, all right. How do you get to week 15? For the big picture, you know, down the road, because we got a 5-year plan. We've talked about it from day one. We've been very firm about that. How do we manage all that? Because we want, you know, eventually we want to get there, and how do you do it? So, I mean, you take an inventory of everything, you know, see how you can do it better, you know, which I do every day, try to make myself better to help make everybody else better.
So what are some of the things that you thought they were crazy?
Well, the biggest one that everybody still talks about now is coaches runs over the summer. Like the coaches runs is something I would not recommend to a normal person or somebody that really doesn't want to play this sport of football for Kennesaw State. That right there it was way worse than camp. It's way worse than anything I ever did in my life. And every day I woke up questioning if I wanted to play football. Every day I woke up like, do I want to get up today? Do I want to go see Coach Carizzi today? But I mean, like Coach said, all of that helped us, or is helping us now. Continuing this season, they did a great job of breeding competition, and that's why I feel when you guys ask about the depth on the team, that's why you can't really tell if somebody went out or came in, especially at certain positions, because they did breed competition. So everybody wants to compete. So if one man goes down, the next one wants to step up and show he can do the same thing. That's because that's something that's been bred and something that we've been working towards for 2 years now. So.
What is the coach's role?
Coaches runs consist of 6 stations, and the coaches lead it. So like throughout the earlier part of the summer is just Coach Carizzi, but I think that's going right into the period where the coaches can start handling the players and they get out there and it's just some of everything. Like one station might be mat drills, and next station would be cone drills, and then next station would be the shuttle. Next station would be the prowlers, and you'll do it for 3.5 minutes, and then you'll get a grace period, and then you'll go again. So you get 2 rounds, and then after the second round, we'll do a competition round. So you'll go around again, and whoever lasts the longest will win. So like they'll go around, you'll do one station, and the coach give you a thumbs up. If you get a thumbs up, you stay in. If you get a thumbs down, you go sit in the middle. So that'll continue until it's one team standing. And I think the longest we did it this summer was the offensive line and the linebackers group, we went for a whole nother round, and neither one of us got a thumbs down, so they had to stop practice. So
I remember that day.
Yeah,
Now that the playoffs, looks like they're out of the picture, right? Yeah. Are y'all disappointed about that, or, I mean, how do you feel about that?
y'all go ahead.
I mean, of course, you're disappointed. The competitor in you is disappointed, but the realist in you says you have nothing to really be disappointed about. Your first year program, and you came out and won 6 games off the rip, and you have 2 more that you have a pretty good chance, if you play the way you could play, of winning as well. So we're disappointed that we're kind of out of the picture, but we're not disappointed in the outcome of the season. We have a lot to look forward to going into the next years from here on, and we see what we can build on. Like Coach said, we want to start a foundation. I feel like we started a pretty good foundation.
I'm with Dez. Obviously, all the competitor inside all of us, we wanted to get to the playoffs, and that was our goal. But you look at it, and we gave ourselves a chance to actually get in on our first year, which is incredible. Most people didn't think that was going to happen, and I think that's a testament to the coaching staff and our strength staff, just getting us mentally and physically prepared for what we're about to go through. And you know, you're disappointed about it, but you look on it and say it's our first year, and we about shocked everybody and got into it. So it was disappointing, but it was cool at the same time to have that chance.
With 2 road games left, you won the first one up at ETSU, but haven't necessarily played your best football in a road environment. You know, we're always trying to come back and respond. How important is it to kind of get into a rhythm last couple of games on the road, play well for next year?
Well, I think it's important. I think we need to, obviously, you know, more or less coming off a loss. How do we respond? That's one of the first things I said to him is I said, man, we're about due to go get something done on the road, and you know, and so we got a couple opportunities left, and to try to go put together. You know, we still haven't. We've played good. We still searching for that game where we can get all 3 phases rolling together. You know, we've kind of worked off each other a little bit at times. Defense will play good. Offense will have all, I mean, where we can get all 3 phases, working together at the same time and go play well. And we got 2 road games left to do that, but and hopefully we can put that together. But it's important. Every game's important. Every game's important. So we just go do the best we can.
You said leading up to the Charleston Southern game, you kind of had to temper, not necessarily the expectations, but keep guys focused on each individual week. Now that you lost to Charleston Southern, have you had to shift the focus into stay focused on the last 2 games, don't look to next season?
Oh, I don't talk about next season. All I've talked about is Coastal Carolina. I mean, we're talking about here in a bigger picture, but we don't talk about that. Our thing hadn't changed at all, and I know with these guys, but I mean, they know all I talk about is having a great Monday, having a great Tuesday, having a great Wednesday, leading up so we can play the best game we played all year on Saturday. And that's really all we ever talk about. They know I don't talk about playoffs. I don't talk about conference. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I know they do. I acknowledge that, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to go out and play the best game we can. And, Coastal's up next. That's our next opportunity to get better as a football program and a football team and go play the best game we can. And so that's how we've approached it. It hasn't changed. I immediately went in and, talked to the guys after the game, and I said, we didn't make enough plays. We didn't do the things we probably needed to be successful. But I'm proud of where we are, and I'm proud of where we're going. If we'll continue to do the things we've done and continue to build on the things we've done. And I think that's what's really most important. You look at the positives we've done, the good things, you build on those. We try to eliminate the negative things and get better at those, and we continue to build as a program. That's what we said we set out to do. And I'm not going to lose focus of that. I don't think these guys are. I was worried a little bit how they're going to bounce back after the game. I'll be honest with you. But this is a resilient group. And there was no bad look in anybody's eyes about anything going on. I know Coastal Carolina is an exciting opportunity for our football team. You know, you want to go somewhere and play at a place and a team that's really, it's where you want to be. That's where we want to be. What better way to go work on it and go play them, you know? And so I know we'll be excited about it, and we'll see how it goes.
Could you compare CSU's defense and Coastal Carolina's? Obviously, you just went up against the best defense you'll probably see all year. Is it kind of?
It's hard to say because we haven't played them yet, Chris. But I can tell you this: Charleston Southern's defense is pretty daggum good. They were good on tape. They were probably better in person. And the thing about that you see about Coastal is they just run so well. They're athletic and they run really well. Top to bottom, everything they do, they're just athletic and they run well. But it's hard to say based on tape until we go play them. You know, to really compare the two, it's hard to compare. They're good. I mean, they're number 4 in the country. They're not, you know, they haven't been what they've been over the years for no reason. They're good. But it's hard to compare till we go play them. But obviously the crowd we played, they're good. They're good. I mean, and we knew it, and that's why we were trying to do everything we could to try to gain an advantage and make a play somewhere, because we weren't going to be able to just go up and down the field. We knew that. We're going to try, but we knew in that last week that was going to be a tough sled.
And do you expect the run game maybe to improve with Malik back, or do you think Lorenzo stepped in there pretty much filled it perfect?
Well, what'll help is now that if Malik's a center, Cizo goes to guard. So there's some, you know, I mean, there's some things that help when you're getting both of them on the field now. But I hope we can get something going in the run game that we can kind of work off of. You know, we didn't really do that Saturday. There was nothing really we could hang our hat on. So hopefully we can get something going Saturday. And if we get something going, then everything kind of feeds off of that. And so hopefully we can get something going. I mean, obviously those guys are both have been starters, so you're getting both of them on the field at the same time, which ought to help us. And we might be able to roll Chaz a little bit at guard, where he doesn't have to play the whole game, because he's not really, that's more than he can handle right now, and it helps him if he doesn't have to play the whole game. You know, more of those guys we can kind of move in and out. It helps them. You know, they're fresher and they can meet the demands of you know, some of the highest level competition you'll play. So we'll see if we can get something going, Chris.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.